So, I have a question and I have some ranting to go on with. So, yeah, like my phone's probably gonna even dead and I'm gonna have to make a next video. But I have a question. Why, after going through so much in life, do people repeat the same mistakes in their life? That's my question for you. So, just think about that for a quick minute. Yeah, so why? Why do we see the mistakes that were made by our parents and our grandparents and our aunties and uncles, and we repeat the same thing? Like, I don't get it. Is it because life is easier that way? Like, I'm really trying to understand. Like, I've been watching, I don't know, for those of you who are on Instagram or whatever and know Major Hype, I've been watching his lives, and I even chimed in actually yesterday to a conversation called Confront Your Ex. And I called into the live, and to be honest, I was just like, yo, honestly, big up my ex. Because, you know what I mean? I feel like, say, yo, when two people break up, it's a lose-lose, win-win situation. Because, and here why I say this. Because when you leave me to go start over with somebody else, especially in my circumstance, and I say this because I have 3 kids, one from a prior relationship, and I have 2 kids with my ex. Like, when you leave me now and move into another relationship with somebody else, and before the wounds are even healed inside of this person, forget what you're going through, you're your own person, but before the wounds are healed in that specific person, you choose to call that person and talk to that person about things that you're going to go do that concern that new woman that you're with. And you know that's going to tear them apart. Like, why do you feel like that's okay? Like, why do you feel like it's okay to tear down that person? Like, you already left. Like, you walked out, you left. You know what I mean? Whatever the circumstance, whatever, okay, we're not going to play the blame game here. I did whatever I did to you. You did whatever you did to me, whatever. It was a marriage. People don't understand the meaning of marriage nowadays. People don't understand the meaning of a relationship and what it's all about. You know what I mean? And like, that's why I said like win-win, lose-lose, because, okay, you're hurting me and you're doing all those things to me and whatever the case may be, and I'm trying to go through what I'm going through and whatever the case may be, and you're moving forward and you're happy. Like, why don't you give me that grace period for me to be happy? Whether it be 1 year, 2 years, 1 month, whatever grace period I need to deal with what I'm dealing with. Because you feel like you left and within 1 month you were able to stabilize your life, find a new place, find a new relationship. You feel like it's okay to force your whole, I've moved on, I'm over you, like, I have a new woman, I'm going out of town Valentine's to go spend Valentine's with her, and can I introduce them to the kids, down my throat? And like, I'm not supposed to be angry or resentful or hurt about it, and that's what I don't understand. Like, I've been trying. Like, when he just left, I did my best to try to work on myself. Keep in mind, like, this is a whole nother story, so I'm not even getting into it. But keep in mind, I didn't know that my problems went to a form of needing medication or being sick or any of that. I just knew I was hurt. And I was in a relationship with this man who I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with. You know, like, I was willing to put everything on the back burner to work on my marriage because that's my new family, me, him, and my children. And you just get up one day and walk out of my life, and like, I don't even know how to explain this, but like, to me, I feel like there was no closure. There was no, yes, we're actually done, because you've left before. We've argued before and you've left before. And when we did talk about it, when you're angry, it was like, oh, I'm done with you. I can't tolerate you. And then when we were good, it was like, oh, you never know what could happen. So you're giving me false hope when you knew that you were moving on with somebody else. And even if, okay, let me not even bring in another person, because that person could have just been an encouragement for himself, like somebody to make him feel good about himself, to make those steps. But I'm saying, you knew what was going on deep down inside yourself, and you weren't being honest about it, which never gave me that space and time that I needed to heal, because I was there back and forth like, okay, this is my husband, this is my marriage, like, this is not something you give up on, like, let's do counseling, whatever. And like, if you experience, and this is where I'm going to go back to why this repetitive thing that we have, like, and I got this idea from when I was watching the major hype thing. Like, why do we see these things in our past, whether it be our parents, whether it be our grandparents, whether it be our aunts, uncles, whoever, and repeat these same things? You know, like, we both came from a broken home, so we both knew that we had things to deal with. And not acknowledging that made our relationship really hard to work through. But when you say that you're married to somebody and you can acknowledge and know that these issues are coming from past issues and coming from a broken home, and seeing your father not treat your mother properly, or, you know what I mean, like your stepfather come in and treat you bad as a stepchild, or whatever the case may be, why would you want that for yourself? Like, let's get serious here, people. Like, okay, I'm not perfect. Like, I might have a pretty face and whatever the case may be, and like, when I actually get to combing my hair, I look pretty good on the outside, but I have my issues. But let's be honest. If we look inside ourselves and we can see the issues that we pronounce in ourselves, that we can see, that's like, it's not something that's like hidden, like that's something that we know we have an issue with. Why like provoke the other person? Why not just say, you know what? For my children, which is the next generation, let me do this, because I had to sit down as a child and see certain things that I don't want my children to go through. Like, I just have this question. I'm going to post this video on YouTube on my channel if I could figure out how to do it, because I have a new phone now. And I'm going to put this video on Facebook. And I just want to understand, because honestly, like, I was in a really good place. Like, it took me 10 months to get myself in that good place. And just the frustration and the not understanding why people are the way they are, like, I had to make this video so that I wouldn't relapse. Because honestly, like, not only do I want to cry, but I feel a little bit angry inside, and that bitterness that I was letting go of, I'm starting to feel it back. Because I'm going to tell you guys a situation, okay? So before the new year, like, I had a big issue. Like, I wasn't doing good at all, like physically, mentally, whatever. Like, I really wasn't doing good. Okay. And when the new year approached, I decided I'm going to deal with my issues. Okay. And I had a big argument with my ex. Like I said, we've been done like 9 months, going on 10 months now at that point. And I was like, okay, you know what? Bam, no contact. And people would be like, no contact, but you guys have kids. I get it. But at the same time, I am the sole caregiver for my kids. I have to take care of them 24/7. If I can't heal myself, I can't be the best mom that I need to be. And if somebody is in your life who has left you for 9 months, and every time you try to be cordial with them, they push down your throat everything that you've done to hurt them, and why you're no good, and why, like, you're not a good person, and you know what I mean, like, you're not a good mother, and they push all of this thing down your throat. Sometimes you need to fully take them out of the equation in order to work on yourself. So here, 9 months I was left, And I tried, and he got to see his kids, and he was still able to come into my apartment, and anywhere, if he wanted to take them, he was able to take them. And you know what I mean? The last straw was when he's like, okay, I'm going to take them and introduce them to somebody, which I said, it wouldn't have been a problem if you had given me the time to get there. But you were telling me that, oh, you never know what could happen, and oh, me and this girl are not serious, and oh, she's out of town, and all that stuff, to give me that false hope, which I don't think is fair. But okay, fine. That was the last straw, when I was like, okay, you know what? I need to work on myself first, because I need to be able to allow my kids to have a relationship with their father without it bothering me or getting up in my feelings. So I need to work on my mental issues and my physical issues, and work on me to love myself again, to build back that confidence I need to basically just be the best person that I could be. Okay? All that 9 months you had, and you were coming and you were seeing them maybe 2 hours here, maybe 3 hours here. Out of the 9 months, you probably took them for one night, and that was it. Okay? And I'm saying, okay, let you do what you're doing, whether it be an hour, whether it be whatever, let you do what you're doing. But now I am in my place now, and I'm saying, yo, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to see you. I don't want to nothing. And not even 2 weeks, not even 3 weeks, you can't give me the air to breathe? You can't leave me alone to grieve? You can't leave me alone to heal? To get all of this out, all of this 9 months that you've been building and getting serious in a relationship that I didn't know about. You understand? Because according to me, it was just, I'm a man and I'm not getting it from you, so I need to get it from somebody. You know what I mean? So I'm going through all of this, and I'm saying to myself now, okay, give me that, okay? And it might seem like nothing to nobody else, but you want to call my family member. I'm not going to call any names because I don't know if she wants to be on here, but you want to call my family member and be acting so concerned, like you care, asking how I'm doing. Keep in mind, when I told you my physical health was affected and I told you it was wrong with me, you told me that's besides the point because you done left already. Does that sound like somebody, your husband, somebody you married? Does that sound like something that somebody is supposed to tell you? Keep in mind, when I think of husband as family. That's family. That's not like, oh, that's my boyfriend or that's my baby father. That's family. We were married. I slept in the scent of your fart. Like I cleaned your vomit. Like I was your caregiver. Like, yo, I did things to you that some woman wouldn't even do for their man. They would be like, yo, go to the hospital, dog. Go to the doctor. I did that. And I'm not giving myself self-praise, but I'm saying, yo, if he was like that for me, I would be on here saying like, yo, you did all of that for me and it's so easy for you to leave. But my eyes started to open and I'm saying, yo, he wasn't doing all of that for me. So it was like his intentions were that it wasn't permanent. Because if that is your intention, like, yo, that's my wife, like, that's my family, like how that's my mother, that's my family, like that's how my sister, that's my family, like my auntie, my cousin, that's my family. Like, and you're that invested, like how you're invested in your family, you couldn't have not cared to look at me and tell me when I just find out these things are happening to me, that's besides the point, and I can't be with you. Like, there was just no love there. You understand? And I'm taking this time now to embrace that and to understand and to say, you know what? Our relationship was messed up. Our relationship was a hot mess. You understand? And I don't know how I let it get so far or how we let it get so far, but okay, fine. He made the step and he left. Okay? And try to move from there. You want to be like that pest in the side to just constantly remind me that like you were the Prince Charming or you're king and I'm nothing. Like, oh, look how you're suffering now and good for you and like, oh, I'm holding my head up and go fix yourself. And why do you want to do that to a person who has to raise your kids? Like, Major Hype made a great point. Like, he made a couple great points, but I'm going to mention two of them right now. One, it doesn't matter what you and your baby mother have. That's the mother of your kids. That's the person who has to take care of your kids on a day-to-day basis, especially if you're not a full-time father. You understand? If you're not even a part-time father, you see your kids them when you can, when you're not busy working or out there having fun. You should want to make sure that that person who's watching your kids is in the best mental state and physical state possible, so your kids could get the best health possible and best care possible. Why would you try to get in that person's head? It doesn't matter if they're sensitive. It doesn't matter if they're easy to get upset or whatever the case may be. You know that you're out there. You don't have to deal with them. Why do that? Like, I just don't get it. Like, I just don't understand. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I tried to look into myself. I'm still trying to look at myself. I'm still trying to fix myself. And yeah, people could say, oh, it's 10 months and you need to get out there. And you know what I mean? The way to forget about one is to jump into the next. But I've been there, done that. I might look young, but I've had a lot of experience in that. And I know that for me, that doesn't work. Because all I do is I put all of my love and trust into the other person without getting to know them the way I should, because at the moment in time they're treating me the way that I want to be treated. And then the other in the end of the day, it's like the same thing. You know what I mean? And with each hurt that I get, it breaks me down. Oh boy. Where was I now? I'm not naked, but I'm getting stress sweat just talking about this convo, so I had to change up. But yeah, like I just feel like, you know, like in this life that we're living right now, when we see our family stuff like go through things and like situations and like go wrong, like all this family stuff, like whether it be, like I said, husband and wife, baby mother, baby father, brother and sister, like sister and sister, all of these break down. We need to try and do better. And it's like, I feel like I'm trying to do better. Like, I feel like I'm not perfect, and trust me, like, sometimes my mouth is not my own, and like when I feel something, when I feel a way, I'll just say what I feel, and like however it comes out, it comes out. And I guess like, again, based off of like what I've learned in the past like couple months, I learned that sometimes Black men in society need to be uplifted certain way. And because us women, we're so used to having to be strong and powerful because either that's the way we were raised or because we were let down by other men, whatever the case may be in our past, we feel the need to be so strong. And even when we're not strong, we feel the need to empower that, like, oh, I can do it on my own or whatever the case may be. But I'm saying, like, we need to really look into ourselves, because I was so positive, like just like literally not even 24 hours from now, I was in a positive state. And I'm saying, if that person, my ex, was in a positive state, why would you want to ruin that? Like, I'm going to break down the situation to you. Like I said, I haven't been speaking to him. Like, he hasn't been speaking to me. He hasn't seen me. I haven't seen him. Just like maybe 2-3 weeks. Not that long. Okay. And the reason all of this came out is because he wanted to introduce, like I said, this woman into my life and my kids' them life, because yes, like I said, he was telling me about her when you knew that I wasn't emotionally ready for that. And you didn't give me that opportunity to be emotionally ready because you were not telling me how serious this relationship was, which, again, honesty in our society as Black people, whether it be our relationship with our families, our mothers, our sisters, or whether it be with our men or whatever, we need to just be honest, and we need to be bluntly and openly honest, because in the end of the day, when you're ready to hurt that person, you don't care. You're telling them, yes, Ray, 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 Ray. And then however it comes out, it comes out. And if it breaks them into a million pieces, you don't give a shit. So we need to just do that from the get-go. You know what I mean? And if it reaches to that point early, then at least you know from the get-go, and you don't put in so much like investment into that relationship or into your life when it comes to like I said, my kids, you know, everything. And I don't know, like one part of me is like, does this man just want me to hurt and keep hurting because I hurt him? And then the other part of me is like, nah, like this man is not a good person because I'm the mother of your kids. Like I have to wake them up every morning to go to school, get them ready, pack their lunch. Like if I'm emotionally unstable, how could I do that to the best of my ability? Like how could I get them to school on time? How could I be there to pick them up? Like I'm the one who's doing all of this. You know what I mean? And I never wanted to rant and ever put down my significant other, whether it be past, present, future, because in the end of the day, I know people are people. You understand? But I just don't get it. And today just kind of showed me that like sometimes like if we don't work on ourselves, we can really frig up some people's meditation and stuff, because look how it took me 9 to 10 months to reach to the place that I was at. You know, and you feel like you are where you need to be and you're financially stable and you're comfortable where you're living and, you know, you have this nice girlfriend and everything's going for you. And now you just want to come and incorporate your kids and feel like, okay, everything's going to work out. But we had an outside child, you know, which his outside children never got affected by it because they're in a different country. I never even got to meet them. But, excuse me, on the other hand, I'm left with an elder daughter who now has to see all of this happening, and you're not even trying to say like, okay, you know what? I played a role in her life. I was her father for that timing and whatever. So I need to be sensitive to that little girl. Like, you're not even doing that, you know? And like, honestly, like when I post this, all his family members, whoever they want is free to comment and say whatever they want to say. Because honestly, I'm past the upsetting part. I'm past the like the tempered part. I'm past the cussing everybody else out part. Like I'm over all of that. I'm trying to heal, but I just don't get it. I'm trying to understand why some men do what they're doing. And this is why I mentioned Major Hype, and I'm going to mention him probably a lot throughout this video, because I honestly gave up hope on black men, especially Jamaican men. And when I watched his live, and you know, people say see me and live with me are two different something, and maybe he's not really all that what he's saying, and he hasn't changed from like, you know what I mean, whatever, sheep to mutton or whatever. But like basically, if he hasn't changed and he's just saying what he's saying, it's still helpful, because in the end of the day, people need to hear advice. And sometimes that advice will help others to be better. So what I'm saying is, I gave up hope until I watched his live and I seen him point out all of the stuff that he did wrong in his relationships and how he tried to change and be a better person. But I also see those characteristics in him where even though he's doing stuff that, you know, might not be good for a relationship, he has that foundation to be a good person, you know? And like, I'm going to say this, like, if I had looked into my husband's past and his relationship with his family and like who he was with his previous relationships, I probably wouldn't have married him, to be quite frank, because when we were married and all of that started to come out into the open, I was like, me and my family might not get along the best, but trust me, everybody who comes my way knows, yo, I love my family. Like, you know what I mean? They might push me out and, you know what I mean? Like, not tell me stuff and leave me to hear things last minute and whatever. But like, I'm up in my family. Like, nobody can't diss my family. Like, let me do the dissing. Like, let me say what I have to say. Nobody can't like mess with my family. Like, me and my sister could have a fight today, and if somebody comes and decides, say, yo, they're gonna attack my sister, well, listen, like, that bipolar side of me will kick in, and like some asses will get kicked. I am for my family. You know what I mean? Don't even breathe a word about my kids. You can give me your advice, but don't breathe a word about them. Don't say nothing negative about them. You know, I am that kind of person. You know what I mean? And I just feel like, you know, I showed him that. Like, I showed him, say, yo, like, me and you might cuss and me and you might go on. And, you know, when I'm upset, you know, I might tell my family, like, yo, like, this man did this and this man did that. But I always embrace my husband, and if anybody want to mess with him, I was there, ride or die. Like, yo, don't even go there. And like, I always talked about what he did do. Like, financially, he's always there. If I said, give me $100 and $100 is all he has, he was there. You know what I mean? If I said, yo, I want this, you know what I mean, and he could afford to give it, he's giving it. You know what I mean? And that was who he was. But, you know, and people show love differently. So maybe that's how he showed his love. But I'm saying, I feel like there needed to be so much work done before the marriage, during the marriage, and even after the marriage, and even yet right now that I'm making this video, because I don't see how, like, him doing the things that he's doing is going to be prosperous for the future. Like, I don't see it. Like, I don't see how I can, like, move forward and build that relationship that I need to have with him for our kids if he's still hurting, or if he still has, like, something against me. You know what I mean? And like, I don't even know what to say he's hurting. Like, right now, I just feel like, yo, like, nigga, you're just being a bitch ass nigga because you can. Because you know you don't have to deal with me. You don't have to live with me anymore. You don't have to talk to me, so you can just do whatever you want. And you can use the excuse that, oh, I'm being an asshole, I'm being a bitch, excuse my language, just so that you don't have to play that full-on role as a father as you should. Okay? And I say this because, like, he has a cousin, and, like, the woman that he was with, and I don't mean to talk people's business, but I'm just gonna say this, like, she made it so hard. Like, she made it so hard. Like, yo, if you ain't banging me, you ain't seeing your kids, you ain't this. Like, if you didn't pay that child support this month, like, don't even come for them. And this man would get up every single day, and he worked 2 jobs to go down to his kids' school. Okay? And I'm just trying to say, like, if that's not your character, then don't try to fake it. Like, I'm not expecting my significant other, like my ex, to do that, because that wasn't him. Like, it doesn't matter if he was in the house all day, like, and it was time for the bell to ring. Like, as long as I'm there, pick up the kid. Like, if I'm leaving from somewhere, like, oh, can you make it to pick up the kid? Pick up the kid. Like, that's not his style. So I'm not expecting that to be your character. But don't come now that me and you are no longer together and try to fry me for those things. You know? Because 2 years ago, when I thought my marriage was collapsing, I was trying to live my life to be happy, and I didn't concern myself about the fact that, okay, maybe he would leave me or whatever the case may be. And we sat down and we had a real reasonable talk. And because I wouldn't confess or say I did things that he wanted to state that I did, which, like, on the Lord above, I might have did some stuff, but I didn't do what you said I did. So I'm not going to confess to make you feel happy. You know what I mean? Like, you tried to come 2 years later and fry me for that, you know? And that's the next thing. Like, honesty is key. Like, if you feel like you can't move on from a situation or whatever the case may be, another point made on Major Hype's live from one of the followers, just leave. Just leave, because there's no good coming out of it. If we had left 2 years ago, I wouldn't be making this video right now. I would probably open the door to him, make him have his kids anytime he want. Me and him could talk on the phone. It wouldn't be nothing. You know what I mean? Not because I was ready to move on with my life, but at the same time, that was when I realized that things were not working, and we had a conversation about it. But no, you led me to believe and like try to encourage me like, oh, we're husband and wife. It doesn't work like that. We need to put everybody outside of our lives and just concentrate on us. And then when I was in my most vulnerable, situation, like when I was sick, when I couldn't even get up out of bed, which now I know why, but at the time I didn't know why, that's when you chose to pack up and leave. Like, marriage is not bae mother, bae father, boyfriend, girlfriend. Marriage is family. Would you walk out on your mom if your mom was lying down sick in bed? If that was your little sister or your cousin or even your big sister or whatever, would you walk out on them like that? Like when a man picks up a woman and when a woman picks up a man, you have to be willing to take care of them like they're your child, like they're your parent. You understand? Like, yeah, we're all big people and you know what I mean? When we're good and we're healthy and whatever, we can make our own and whatever. But those two halves that we're making need to come together and become a whole, And like I said, like we can debate all the issues that like happened and say, okay, you know what? There was a lack of sex and a lack of compassion and a lack of all kind of stuff. But in the end of the day, the real thing is we didn't try hard enough for our marriage and we didn't put the effort in. We weren't truly honest. And you hear me saying we because in the end of the day, I ain't one person to point out one person's flaws and not my own. I ain't that person to call my mom and my sister and tell them about bad and not good because I do. Oh, Kamar is doing much better. Kamar takes care of his kids financially. Kamar buys them anything they want. Kamar this, Kamar that. I am that kind of person. You understand? And oops, I didn't mean to call no names, but yes, I called him. So if he wants to come and comment, he can comment, whatever. My thing is, like, walk away altogether. Let me heal. Let me build back. You understand? You turned to me and you told me one day that you know I'm strong. But it's like you don't want my strength to come up. You don't want my strength to come out and be the force standing. You know what I mean? And I that's what I need. Like I need to feel like brave again. I need to feel like I can step out into the world and be the best mom that I can be. And you putting all this negativity is not good for me and it's not good for your children. And I've heard so many people say this and I've said it and whatever, but I don't think he gets it. And that's why I'm saying, like, people, like men, women, comment and let me know why do men behave like this? Why do women behave like this? Because it's not men alone, it's just men are usually the ones who are easier to do this because in the end of the day, society gives them the freedom to not be in their family's life. If a woman decides, like, the man, not like voluntarily, because if a man voluntarily says, yo, I want my kids to be with me, you know what I mean? That's different. But if a woman gets up and decides, say, yo, she's leaving that man, you understand? And she can't deal with that man and she's going to just visit her kids when she's not working because now I have to work extra hard to take care of my kids outside of my home because now I have a rent to pay and all that stuff and car payments and all this stuff to pay and walks out. She's judged. Lord, she's not this and Lord, she's not this. And like I said, I've seen situations like that already. I'm not speaking out of my ass. I'm talking facts, things that I've seen and know. So we get judged for those things, And yes, us women, we love to say, oh, Lord, in my dog, in my deadbeat, in my this and whatever. But we allow that to be okay. Like we uphold that. Like, Lord, I saw them black man stay, or I saw them Jamaican man stay, or, I saw them stay, these Caribbean man. Like, why do we think that's okay? Why do we allow it? Why do we support each other by saying, Lord, it's been 9 months, get over it, like, you know, or just concentrate on your kids them. That's why I'm grieving. Because my kids shouldn't have to experience all what they're experiencing because you want to be spiteful or you want to be hurtful. That's how it started in the first place. That's how I decided I don't want to be in contact with you. Because every time I try to be in contact with you and on good terms, it couldn't just be about the kids. You had to remind me about the things in the relationship. And then when I got angry about it or whatever you want to say, oh, there goes that attitude again. And there goes this and whatever. Like, I am who I am already. And I'm working on myself to try to better myself. Not for the next relationship, but just for me as a person. But I think like a lot of work needs to be done. And this is why I'm asking like why, and why. Because I was almost there. 9-10 months. And in literally 2 weeks, I was almost there. I was getting there. I was saying, you know what? Nah, like I need to pay more attention to my kids like on a regular basis because I want them to prosper. I'm telling them, say, yeah, like, you know what? Love is out there, but you know what? You have to come ready for it. Like, you know what I mean? And then like you do something so childish and so like you're manipulating the situation. Like you decide to call a family member and email a family member and bring the whole conversation to the school, telling the school you won't be coming back here again. And all of those like, yo, we're already black, you know, and people are already looking at us to fail, you know, and you're allowing them to let us know that we failed. Like I have my husband's parking still here, and like I'm laughing even thinking about it, but I had my husband's parking still here that I pay $50 for, okay, and I haven't gotten rid of it. Just because in the end of the day, I'm not trying to show nobody, say, yeah, like, you know what, our marriage has failed, whatever the case may be. Although the whole building probably knows. But in the end of the day, like, I'm just trying to keep my composure. I don't go to school with no thick glasses on, with my tears dropping out of my eyes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I've tried to keep, like, that structure for my kids. And then you go and do something like that? Like, why? Like, it's like, I want to see your side of things. I want to understand his point of view. I want to get it. Like, you marry somebody, you didn't expect them to be sick. They're sick all the time. You marry somebody, you expected to have, you know, like a wife in the streets, a freak in the sheets. She can't freak because she's sick. You know what I mean? She has 2 kids back to back. The body falls apart, takes a while to get back together. Like, all of these things I tried to understand. I tried to implement all my understanding into the marriage. I tried to understand. Even now I'm trying to understand, like, okay, maybe he needed encouragement. Maybe I should have told him thanks more often. Maybe should I told him I appreciate you more often. But that part is over now. So what I'm trying to understand is, why can't you get to the place that you need to be in to allow me to get to the place where I need to be in? Because in the end of the day, like, you made that decision. You made that decision for the both of us. I wanted to do counseling. You said no counseling. I wanted us to try working on things, living outside of each other's home, like just living apart. You said no. I stayed and kept myself to myself, didn't date anybody, didn't whatever. You went out there and dated a bunch of girls, found a girlfriend in the meantime. Like, I don't know. But you know what? I'm going to end the video on this note and just say, like, honestly, like, if anybody gets anything from this video, then you know what? It was all worth it. Like, share, subscribe, share the video. Like, I don't even care anymore. Like, I'm putting it out there. Like, honestly, like, us Black people in society, like, we're doing better, but we need to keep doing better. And like, we need to look into ourselves, and like, we need to stop this. And Kamar, if you see this video or anybody shows you this video or whatever, you can cuss, you can say whatever, because we all know how ignorant you get when things are put out there into the world, into society, whatever. But you need to go and get help. If not for me, for yourself, because if my hurt that I hurt you is so much on you that you're willing to hurt me back and in the long term harm your children, then like, yeah, we need you need help. I need help. I'm seeking help for my mental, physical, like, well-being. I'm seeking help, and you need to get help. And I'm sorry that like our lives have gotten to this place, but this is why I had to lock you off, because today brought me back 10 steps backward, and now I'm gonna have to work extra hard to move 10 steps forward. So yeah,